ACL. So we found that out after imaging the other day. We claimed off of waivers George Filigala as an offensive lineman. So we're back at our number at 90. Thought it was good practice today. Started off inside, got out in the heat for a little bit. I think the heat kind of got to us a little bit, but I felt like our guys kind of pushed through, and so it was good. It was good practice.
Dennis, getting Cam done, getting the extension, what has it meant to you to work with him? What's he been like for you to work with in your time here?
Yeah, he's been awesome. It's been awesome. I mean, there's plenty of times that I can put the tape on in the middle of a team meeting and show a guy that has been in this league as long as Cam has, and watch the way that guy practices and runs to the ball, and he just demonstrates everything that we're about with our program in terms of how we go about doing our business. He's been great in the community, great for our organization. I'm glad that we got him.
Is he still at the level? Would you say he's still at his highest level?
Well, I'd say he still plays at a very, very productive rate. He's still a guy that is an extremely well-rounded defensive end. I still think he's the best well-rounded defensive end in our league in terms of just being able to play the run and rush the passer. So, and there's still plenty of snaps in that guy. So, I think it's good to have him.
Mike Thomas having the day off, is that injury related?
No, it's not injury related. It was a planned day off.
Dennis, when Lynn Bound Jr., will you give him like an opportunity to return like a punt, or because it seems like he's flashing a receiver out there?
Yeah. Look, he's going to have some opportunities in the return game. He's going to have opportunities in other phases of special teams, as well as a receiver. And so, I like some of the things that I've seen out of him.
To follow up on Cam's longevity, can you remember working with a player that has been able to produce for 13 seasons, and that you guys are confident that he can play for 15 years? What's the just about him being able to stay in shape and also perform at the level he is?
Yeah, look, I think it's a testament to him and the way that he takes care of his body. Well, first of all, I think it's a testament to his mom and dad, all right, because some of that is a genetic deal. But I think just the way that he works, the way he takes care of his body, there's really no off season for him. He trains year round, and his mentality, the way he goes about doing his business, is really what we're looking for.
Dennis, why do you think Alvin's pass catching numbers have kind of taken a dip in the last 2 years? And is that something that you guys, with the new quarterback, can make the?
Yeah, look, my expectation is that we're going to be able to utilize him in the passing game, much like Drew was able to utilize him in the passing game. That's something that we've put an emphasis on, and we'll continue to work on it.
Is part of it just related to how much y'all had to rely on him as a runner the last couple of years, and just like the number of the high workload that he had in that capacity?
I don't know that that's a specific reason for it. There's probably a lot of variables that go into it. I will say this: I'm excited about the running back room that we have, and I think we've got a little bit more depth at that position than maybe what we've had in the past, and we got guys that can do a variety of things, and I think that'll benefit Alvin in terms of not having to have the same workload that he's had to have specifically as a runner. I think being able to have a little bit of that, we've probably been our best offensively when we've been able to kind of have a little bit of a running back by committee type of approach, and so I'm excited about that room.
Yeah, it looked like obviously Cam wasn't out there today, but we had Tano and Carl getting the first team reps at the end. So what's the goal there in terms of, do you want to have a rotation? Do you want to have someone kind of own that spot across from Cam? What's the ideal scenario?
Well, number one, I'd start off, I'd say it's a hell of a day for Cam, right? I mean, he got a new contract and he got a day off. I mean, that's pretty good for him, right? I think, we're trying to figure out who's going to be that guy that's going to play opposite Cam. Much like I just talked about in the running back room, I feel like we got some depth at that position. I feel like we've got guys that, are fully capable of, stepping into that role. I think, when you look, Cam obviously has been the one player that's probably, gotten the most reps, on the defensive line. Part of it's because he can play a lot of plays and still remain productive. He's in great physical condition. But you know, we rotate a lot of guys throughout our defensive line. Try to keep them fresh, particularly so when we get into the fourth quarter and it's time to try to close out games, we got a fresh group that can go out there and play.
What are some of the things you guys are talking to John Gruden about as far as where you can maybe shed some insight?
Yeah, look, I mean, you know, look, he's going to be here for the next couple of days. He's really just observing. You know, there's not a role that we have for him. He loves football. He loves being around it. And so, look, it just comes out here. He watches practice a little bit, and if there's some things that we can visit with him about that he can provide some insight for us, we'll utilize it. But I wouldn't read too much into it. I mean, he's out here observing, much like we had some other guys out here. Brett Mexey was out here today observing practice. So, yeah, I mean, he's a guy that's got a lot of experience with Derek. So there's probably some things that we can glean from that.
Is that like your guys' store will be open for that in October, November? Like, if you wanted to pop in and just observe?
Yeah, look, I think we're getting out ahead of ourselves.
Yeah.
I mean, he'll be here for, I think, 3 days, just watching. And, again, he just loves being around football. Okay, guys, thanks.
Thanks, Adam.
I'm gonna kind of go general, so we knock out all the questions. I'm gonna just knock them out because I know what y'all gonna ask. So, yesterday when I met with Roger, it went well. I'm not gonna get into the details of what we discussed in the meeting, but it went well. I think we got accomplished what we need to get accomplished. So obviously, happy I got a chance to do that. Happy he gave me the opportunity to come up there because obviously I know that's not really protocol, but I mean, he gave me the opportunity and I took it and went up there and met with him, and it went well. On to the Las Vegas incident. Obviously, I haven't talked in a while. It's been a couple months, 18, 19 months that I've been dealing with this ordeal. Obviously, it's a tough ordeal to be in. You know, I never want to be involved in something where someone gets hurt or severely injured or anything. Poor judgment on my end. Definitely a bad decision, but I'm a man. Everything I've ever done in my life, I stood on, and I could take accountability for it, and I could say when I'm wrong. And I was completely wrong, embarrassed the Saints, embarrassed my family, my mother, embarrassed myself, embarrassed the city, and the Shield, obviously, embarrassed the NFL. So, you know, I just tried to do my best to kind of keep it as much away from the media and as much away from the team as I could. You know, obviously, it's hard to do that when, you know, you got such a incident like that. So, you know, I'll be lying if I said it wasn't tough. I've lost a lot throughout this ordeal. Definitely not looking for any pity, not looking for somebody to give me a pat on the back and say it's okay. I know what I know what I did. I know what I was involved in, and I definitely take responsibility. And you know, that's part of being a man and growing. You know, from here, I just got to make the right decisions and make the right choices. So that's kind of what I got to say about that. So now, let's talk about football because I'm back.
Just before we do that, did Roger give you an idea of the timeline of when you
I already hit on that. We had a good meeting. It went well. That's all I got to say about that.
Is there anything you've learned from this stuff? I mean,
Yeah, I did. I mean, I definitely have. You know, obviously, we know what the incident was. Just making judging that situation better. You never want to be in a situation where, especially in the position I'm in, being a leader and being a just kind of like a role model for children. I don't want to be in a position where I put my hands on somebody. Obviously, that's the last thing you want to do because one, it comes with trouble, and you know it could have been worse. You know, so I'm blessed that it wasn't worse. Obviously, still hate that it happened. Hate the whole situation. I told Nikki, I told DA. I mean, everybody knows. They know me around here. So just talking to them throughout this whole ordeal, and luckily they've been supportive. Ms. Benson's been supportive. Mickey's been supportive. The whole team has been supportive, really. And you know, it's unfortunate when you make a decision like that. But I know my character. I know who I am, and luckily I'm somewhere where these people know who I am. The city knows who I am. So that's kind of kept me going. But I've definitely learned that and in the blink of an eye, a lot can change. So definitely just got to make the right decisions
And now
going forward.
It's just a matter of just walking away because you never know when you can be in that situation.
Yeah. It's more than just walking away. It's some of those situations. I mean, I was out at 5 a.m. So you know what I'm saying. It's like what Tony Dungy used to say. Nothing good happens after 12, after midnight. So it's kind of just gauging those situations and being able to make the right decision and being where you're supposed to be and sometimes taking yourself out of position and not being in those places. So.
Has that incident affected your preparation for this season,
No.
just in terms of football?
No, not at all. It was a situation, obviously, and I had to deal with it. It's like I said earlier, I'll be lying if I said it hasn't affected me. It's affected me. I mean, last season it affected me every day. Like I said, I lost a lot. I've lost monetary. I've lost some friends. I've lost some support from some people. But I mean, like I said, I've had a ton of support from this organization. I've had family and friends, and the people that know me and that know what I stand for and that know what I'm about. That's kind of like what's pretty much kept me going, and my faith. And like I said, I'm not glossing over the situation and downplaying it in any way. It was poor judgment on my end, and it was obviously unfortunate. And it just got to be a thing where I'm mature, take ownership of it, and make better decisions going forward.
Does it feel freeing to put it in the past?
Yes, it does. It does. I miss talking to y'all, but nah, it does, man. Because like I said, it's hanging over you. It's hanging over you, and obviously it's self-inflicted, but nonetheless, it's still something that's it's like a dark cloud. Like it's hard to kind of enjoy some of the smaller things. Like I don't know. Today I just had like a little boost at practice. I just felt better, like a weight was off me. So I'm looking forward to just focusing on football.
When did you make the decision to come talk to us right now? Was this just now you made that decision?
Nah. I knew I was gonna talk. I like I said, I met with Roger yesterday, and I knew after I met with Roger, I was probably gonna just kind of put this chapter behind me, just kind of close it off, and kind of give the spill. So.
Alan, has it excited you that they've kind of made an emphasis on getting you more involved in the passing game this camp?
Yeah, man. Me and Pete, we had a long talk. It was heated. It was an argument. No, I'll just play it. But I think DC and even Jameis, I think some of the opportunities last year just weren't there like we've seen in the past. And we talked about it as an offense just without the coaches, and I'm sure DC, Jameis, and Pete and all those guys, RC, all them are up there talking about it. And I think I'm one of the most effective backs in the league when I get the ball in my hands, out of the backfield, just running routes, catching the ball, splitting out the receiver, doing those things that you guys have known me to do. So the emphasis this year, obviously going through camp and being able to kind of get back in that groove of splitting out and getting some more balls out of the backfield and just getting creative with my pass catching side has been it's been exciting, and I'm definitely excited.
I know
What
you're.
does it say about the offense and the team that you guys were able to meet as a team without the coaches and talk about those things?
It wasn't like a formal
Okay.
but it was just just individual player to player, stuff like that. So I mean, it's one of the, when you have a team with talent and good players, good personalities, being able to communicate is one of those things that I think a lot of people take for granted. But this team communicates, this offense communicates. I think pretty well, like up there with some of the better teams I've been on. So I'm excited for that because it's sometimes, like I said, you take that for granted, being able to communicate with your quarterback, your fullback, your lineman, a receiver, just about little things, little intricacies in plays.
Is this offense kind of at its best in general, though? Like when the playmakers are getting the ball in space, not just you, but like the receivers and everybody catching them around and stuff like that?
Yeah. I mean, I think everybody's seen it. Mike T back rolling. I think he's looking good. He's coming back into form. He's one of those dudes that takes so much pride in what he does. I tried to remind him the other day. I'm like, bro, you ain't played in a minute, dog. Like, you played at the beginning of last year, but consistently just being on the field and getting his field back. After the injury he dealt with, I'm like, man, look, take it slow. But I know you want to ball right now, but like we know. So I mean, he's getting back into form. Olave coming into another year, and understanding the offense more, understanding the defenses more, understanding what it takes to be elite. In this league. All down the line. Trevor Penning getting in there. Caesar, Hurst, and Eric, and Ram, those guys, when they're going and they're healthy, and Pete, obviously, but when they're healthy, I mean, like, it's scary, you know what I'm saying? And in the past years, that's kind of a problem we had, staying healthy up front. And, it's hurt us, obviously. I mean, all around, I've been hurt, Mike's been hurt a couple times, so, I mean, it's just this whole offense, like, I'm just excited when everybody is going and getting in there. Shaheed, he's one of those guys. I was just talking to Gruden, and I was like, man, that's one of them dudes, like, you don't see those type of dudes a lot. He's a burner, got good hands, and makes plays. So with him, you just give him as much as he can handle. Every day, just give him more and more. And then, I mean, some of the young guys, we got AT, and then obviously Jimmy's back. Me and Jimmy, I've been knowing Jimmy for a while. I've been training with Jimmy since I came into the league, training down in Miami. And I'm excited that he's back and he's feeling good and he's going. Jawan. All these, I can keep going, but all these guys, I'm excited to see these guys go out and compete and just, work together and try to, make this offense like the best in the league.
What about the depth of the running back room? Does that help you at all?
Yeah, and I try. I always skip over that because that's the group I'm in. But we got Eno, we got Kendra coming in. That he's learning, young dude, but is hungry and wants to learn and wants to listen and wants to be great. Jamal, me and Jamal came out same class. Dude was crazy, like, but I mean his mentality and his approach to the game, to every, I mean even outside of football, like just his approach in life and just coming in and just being like that smile that comes around the corner, like greeting everybody, saying what's up, like those are some of the things that are infectious and that gels a team together. But even his on the field play, I mean the dude is passionate, like the passion that he plays with, it's not, I haven't seen a lot of guys with that same drive and that same passion. Like he just takes so much pride in what he does and he wants to be great. Adam, he's coming into his own. I love Adam, what he does and what he brings at fullback. Jake is doing well. Everybody's doing well, man. The running back room, I'm excited because these guys, I mean Ellis and these guys are wanting to work. They're hungry and they're willing to do what it takes. And I kind of tell them at the end of practices, I'm like, man, look, our goal is for JT not to say anything to us. You know what I'm saying? We got to be that on point and just that driven and focused and determined as a group, without a coach saying anything, to be able to be what we know we can be. So all I want from JT is a high five and a good job. That's it. I don't want to hear nothing. I don't want to see a surface or anything unless we just unless we do something absolutely wrong. But
Al, speaking of running backs, what's kind of your thoughts on what's going on as far as getting paid across the
Yeah, I mean, New Orleans is a great place. I feel great, that I've been able to be taken care of and valued where I'm at. I can't speak for everybody's situation. It's tough. Circumstances are different across the league. Everybody's circumstances are different. So I'm not going to go into detail about, this player not getting this or this player getting this versus this player. I think it's something that I think everybody's aware of it. Everybody's aware of what's going on. But I can only speak for my situation. I'm in a blessed spot,
Do you have a relationship with Derrick Henry? Obviously,
yeah, we played together.
Team. And then, we had family, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, so that'll be a game, obviously, to kick off the season, and the fans will be focused on between you.
Yeah, I mean, he plays offense, I play offense, so maybe between me and him, but not really. But, yeah, Derrick, that's my boy, man. We came into Bama together. Obviously, I was there for a short little stint, but, I mean, it's amazing from, seeing a guy, we got recruited together in high school, then go to college together, and seeing the work he put in. When I got to Bama, he was an early enrollee, so when I got there, I think he had just broke his foot, so he was rehabbing. But the work he put in throughout that, and then obviously his career there, and then coming into the league and still being that prolific, runner and just doing all the things right. It's cool to see. When you know guys personally, like we all play in the same league. We kind of everybody kind of shows love to each other and respects each other. But when it's somebody that I've sweat and bled with and kind of like really had a personal relationship, it's even that much sweeter. So excited. I'm always excited to see what he does. I just hope he don't do too good against us.
How has the addition of Derek Carr impacted the offense in your game so far?
Man, DC, I think it's amazing to have DC. I think he's a thinker. He loves the game. His communication is, like I said earlier, we all communicate. From Jameis to DC to, the receivers and everything. But DC's just itching for, it seems like he's like a rookie almost in his attack on, trying to, get as much information and get as much, I guess collect as much data from each player, like from me to Mike to AT to to Jimmy to. It's like he's in a rush to collect data and just collect information on like what makes everybody tick as far as routes and what they like, what they don't like, what they see, how they see the game, how they react to certain things. And I mean he's just a great dude all around. I think he has a winning spirit. I think he wants to be great, and I think he got like a little chip on his shoulder. For as much as he's done in the league, he still got that chip, and he still kind of got that like I'm gonna show y'all. So I mean that's what I love. I mean anybody that still got that competitive edge and that drive, like man, it's amazing to have, especially at quarterback. You got a guy that's leading troops. I mean he gonna lead the troops. So I mean me and him, obviously I didn't come to OTAs, but me and him were talking, communicating the whole time, and I mean shoot, I text him like I might be up at midnight, 1 a.m. like, and I might see something like a play or something or a concept, text him, he texts me right back. You know what I'm saying? We're just bouncing ideas off each other's head, even out here on the field, just like getting some stuff going on offense that we haven't done in the past year and a half, maybe just kind of being creative on offense, with some shifts and motions and different alignments and things like that. And he's ready. He's like, man, whatever you want to do, let's go. Shit, I'm with you. So it's good to have DC out there. I'm definitely excited to see what he's gonna do.
What's the approach and relationship like with Kendre Miller? Obviously, you can share at running back, but you don't want to share. I mean, it's also a young guy with some bravado coming in.
Yeah. It's funny because he gets drafted and everybody's sending me his quotes. I can do everything Alvin Kamara could do, and I watched all this film. And man, I think everybody's like, man, what he said? What are you talking about? What you see that? I'm like, yeah, I see it. Shit, he's supposed to feel like that. You know what I'm saying? That's what a competitor does. When I get out there, I got to spank him a little bit and show him like, man, it's different. Like, hey, like this shit is different. But I mean, he catching on, dog. Like he's really catching on, and he wants to be good. I think it starts with the will to be good and the will to understand and learn and just kind of be a sponge. So that's what he's doing. He's trying to beat the heat. He's trying to beat the tempo of practice, the style of play that we have, and he's coming along. So I mean, he's just a young guy. We're gonna see what he can do. I'm excited to see him preseason.
How about you learning to be a mentor? I know you've had younger teammates before, but not high draft picks.
Yeah.
Does it make you feel like, oh, I'm the veteran?
Nah, I don't know. I've been feeling old, man. I'm old, dog. I've been feeling old, but and this just comes from me coming in. I mean, when I came in, I had Travaris Cadet, I had Mark Ingram, I had Adrian Peterson, I had John Kuhn. So these was I was the baby. Like I was like the I don't know. I was when it was reps that people didn't want to take. I was the have and go. Like you know what I'm saying. So from really probably like the third game of our rookie season, like. It just happened so fast, and it feels like I've been kind of absorbing so much information and trying to like spit it back out because that's all I know. That's what Mark and those guys did to me. And then outside of my group, I mean, I had Ted Ginn, I had B. Cole, I had like a lot of other guys. Teron Armstead, even though he's a lineman, like these guys that just gave me so much game and wisdom and knowledge. So it just comes second nature in this realm as far as football. But I mean, that's how I was raised. I mean, I don't lose nothing. I don't lose nothing by a candle doesn't lose any flame by lighting another candle. So I don't mind whatever he got. I'll give it to him. Whatever he need, I'll give it to him.
Alvin, we saw you connect with Derek on a deep wheel route today. I think we've seen that at least a few times this offseason.
Mm-hmm.
That downfield passing game with you seems like it might have been de-emphasized a little bit the last couple seasons. Is that something you expect to get back to?
Yeah, and I think Derek wants to more than anything. I mean, obviously, I know what can happen when we got that going. So, I mean, I'm like just happy, like jumping for joy. When we can when I see those play calls in, or when we get things like that going, and Derek's excited also. I think the offense is excited from JT to RC to Pete. All these guys, and then. DA staying back there, and he just give his little nod of approval, and we keep it moving.
When you talk about like the creativity that Derek wants to bring, and all these other things you're doing, and you're meshing it up with some of the athletes and the speed and explosion,
it's scary.
You excited about
it? Yeah, it's scary. It's exciting. Like just like I talked about earlier. I mean, you got guys on the outside. You got Mike. You got Olave. You got Shaheed. And then I mean, you got other weapons. You got a tight end room with Foster, and you got Jimmy, and you got Taysom still. You got Jawan. And then you got running backs that can do different things. You got me, you got Kendre, you got Jamal. Adam. I'm trying to stand on the table to get Adam some balls thrown his way. He could catch too. But we just got so many weapons, and it's exciting to like just kind of sit in a room and be like, all right, well, this ball went to Shaheed, this ball went to Lave, this ball went to Mike, and then we still have more playmakers to get the ball to. So the possibilities is endless. I know Doug about to shut y'all off, but how many more questions? I'm cool. I'm in my groove, Doug. We good? Yeah.
Alvin, with seeing the team handle, well, let me put it another way. You might remember, like, I think the year before you turned pro,
Yeah.
Tom Brady won the Super Bowl
Yeah.
after he was suspended 4 games. And so how do you hope the team will handle, if you have to miss games, the prospect of that happening, and how would you expect it?
Man, I mean, shoot, if I get it, I have no clue about it. What a suspension, like you said, like the question earlier, has it changed my preparation? No. So I'm preparing the same way as if I'm not gonna get suspended. I mean, if I do get suspended, if I don't get suspended, if I do, hypothetically in this situation, obviously, I mean, I don't expect the team to miss a beat. You know, they got to keep going if I'm here or not, right? So I know these guys. Everybody's that's kind of been the question mark. Like, okay, well, is he gonna get suspended? Is he not gonna get suspended? And I don't think Pete or Derek or DA or anyone is sitting here like, well, if Alvin gets suspended, then we can't do this or we can't do that. They're gonna keep moving. They're gonna find a way to figure out how to recruit. I mean, I don't know. It's gonna keep moving. Like, it's nothing is gonna stop. I expect them to go and win for however long that I'm suspended. Like, it's just, I mean, it sucks to say. Like, I could possibly be getting suspended. Do I want to be out there? Yeah, but I expect them. I don't expect any drop off. I don't expect any drop off in our room specifically. I mean, Jamal's here. Kendre is coming on. He's gonna have to. I mean, if I do get suspended, he's gonna have to get in there and get in the fire and learn and play well. Adam and those guys are gonna hold it down. I mean, it can't stop. It don't stop. One person don't stop the show. So.
Hey Alvin, real quick, with Cam Jordan getting his extension this morning, feel like he's kind of talking about finishing his career.
Man, I ain't gonna talk about Cam. I'm talking about me. I want a lifetime. I want a lifetime. I want to be here forever. You know what I'm saying? So I think y'all need to put some pressure on Mickey. How y'all did with Cam when he said that. But I mean, obviously, me
co-signed him on social media.
Yeah,
before.
yeah.
Are you interested in that idea too?
Of course I am, man. Like I said, I love it here, man. It's a lot of support here, but I'm gonna get off me. I'm gonna go to Cam. Me and Cam was talking about it. I mean, we've been talking about that for a long time. I mean, years. He's been like, man, I'm staying here. So, you know, he was talking to me through his this current negotiation. Obviously, he signed today. Man, it's amazing that he's been able to, you know, put together the career that he's been able to put together, and then all in one spot. Definitely happy for him. He got a little bit more money. You know, I don't know if he needed it. I told him I just need lunch. That's all I need. But I'm excited for him, happy for him. I know, you know, Cam always got that energy and that pep in his step, but I think he got a little more bounce to him today because he got that extension. So definitely congrats to him, and then great on, you know, New Orleans, Mickey and those guys getting it done and keeping him here, because I think he's one of the heartbeats of this team, of this city.
Thank you, Alvin.
Cool.
Appreciate you.
Yes, indeed. Appreciate y'all. Same time, another day.
How was the start of camp going for you these first 7 or 8 practices here?
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, when I wanted to come into camp, I wanted to show them that I could play and what they got in me. And, you know, I just tried to learn fast, be decisive, and make really good decisions from the start. And, you know, I think I've done that. And I think at this level, you just got to be as consistent as possible. So, you know, I've had a great start to camp, but, you know, I got to finish strong and keep it rolling.
A lot of rookies struggle, but why do you think you've been able to pick up on things so quickly?
I mean, I put a lot of time into this. You know, I try to pride myself on knowing what to do and knowing where to go with the football and not having any excuses. Just because I'm a rookie, I don't want to be able to make excuses that, you know, I don't know this progression, I don't know this read. I want them to feel comfortable putting me in the game if I have to go in and try to make great throws and great decisions.
Are there still any times where you're yourself thinking?
I mean, yeah, this is a pretty complex system, I would say, and I put a ton of time into it. A lot of the time I had off was, you know, calling guys on FaceTime, a lot of the guys on the rookie class, and going through stuff with them, and just trying to be as organized and as prepared as possible. I think preparation is the biggest key to success, and I always pride myself on that. So just coming in, trying to be prepared for, you know, install 1 through 3, and then 4, 5, and 6, try to learn as I go, and just try to be as decisive as possible.
You had said you wanted to go to Montana or somewhere during the summer. What did you end up doing?
Yeah, went to Montana for a week and a half. Went up there with my brother. Spent some good time up there, fly fishing, training, throwing, and then came back to the Bay Area and did some of that stuff. So, just try to be as productive with my time as possible and enjoy the little time off that I had.
And then you got to come back to this weather.
Yeah, got to come back to this. So, where I'm from, it's not as hot, but Fresno's obviously probably 110, 115 right now, so I'm used to the heat.
Jake, you mentioned talking with Drew Brees and working with him back in February, and even talking with Derek Carr about this offense. Have you seen that pay off at all so far in camp?
Yeah, I'd like to think so. I feel like I've, for a rookie, learned fast and trying to make the necessary jumps and decisions to, be able to come out here and execute. I think that's the biggest thing. As a rookie, showing them that, you're capable of handling mentally what they throw at you and then also being able to throw the ball accurately. So I think it's paid off up to this point in camp, and I just got to stay consistent.
How do you feel he's handled the playbook?
You guys are watching every day. I think I'm going out there and executing and doing what I need to do to show them that I can play at this level. And I think that, you carry that underdog mentality every step of the way, and no matter what anybody says, I still carry that same chip on my shoulder and that same energy, and I just process and play.
How do you feel as far as your position kind of lends itself to leadership and command of the huddle, all those kind of intangible factors as a rookie? Making that transition. You're one of the youngest guys on the team, but yet you got to command guys that are maybe 5-6 years older than you.
I think those guys want to go in and see that you're not scared to command a huddle. And I think from the jump, I've shown that I want that role, and I'm not scared of that role. And I pride myself in it. And I think you kind of either have that or you don't. And since I was a kid, I've always gone into a huddle and looked at people in the eye and told them to play and told them where they need to get to. And I would say just have that energy about myself and have that aura that, whenever I'm in, we can get this job done and we can go execute at a high level.
Can you justify yourself about no flavoring on your snowball?
It was flavored. Brian over-exaggerates. It was lemonade. Okay, it was hot out. Wanted a frozen lemonade. And Brian's like, there's nothing on it. So yes, there was flavor.
Have you had a chance to pick the brain of John Gruden at all in any way? Take advantage of that resource?
Yeah, here and there. I definitely think he's a good resource for us, and I think that's obviously why he's here. He wants to be able to, sit and watch and then be able to add and critique anything that he thinks might be good for us for the season. And I think any chance you get to learn from a guy like that is productive.
More serious question though, on the rookie class, just how have y'all come together and just bonded together this year? Just a lot of you got AT, you got Nick, all these guys, but just kind of the bond y'all formed throughout this whole entire process.
Yeah, I think naturally the more time you spend with people, the closer you get with them. And this class has been super productive, and I think there's a lot of really good players in this class. Nick's done a really good job, AT, Kendre, Brian. Everybody that we picked has done a really nice job, and they show up, I think. So I think it's just a learning curve. There's more information, there's more that we need to process, and obviously there's a lot more that we need to hold on our plate mentally. So I think once you kind of take that in, absorb it, and then just go cut it loose, I think you'll see us make a lot of plays. Good. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Well, how's camp going? Give us just a general overview of how you feel like you're doing.
Yeah, camp's going well, just coming out here, being able to compete against these guys. It's hot. I'm from Florida, so I'm kind of used to the heat, but I think it's a little hotter here in New Orleans, but it's going good. Every day I'm getting a little bit more reps, building my confidence, and, I'm just coming out here just trying to compete.
Where are you working right now? Are you working in just one position, or are you moving around a little bit?
Yeah, so right now I'm kind of just working that corner right now. I've been meeting with Coach Genta in the morning, looking at some nickel and safety stuff, but primarily right now I've been that corner.
Teams?
Yeah.
Sure you're doing teams.
Yeah, special teams as well, playing PP on punt, jammer on punt return, L5 and left center on kickoff and kickoff return.
Anthony, I'm sorry if you've been asked about this already, but obviously there was that the kind of injury that you came into training camp with. How are you feeling now, and kind of the mental process of getting back?
That was my first time ever having anything where I was missing practice, so definitely mentally it was challenging, but my teammates did a great job encouraging me, just understanding that I had to be ready and prepared to go for camp, that was the most important. So missing the last few days of OTAs and just being able to heal and work with Sean and his group in the training room, they did a really good job in helping me being able to be back for day one.
Were there any specific players that you kind of leaned on a little bit to kind of help you through all that?
Yeah, so guys like Tyran, he's a really great guy, really personable. Since day one, we kind of came in connected, and then he's kind of been like my big brother throughout this thing. I just look for him for advice, and he told me a saying, "Can't make the club in the tub." So that was kind of my motivation of getting back healthy and getting out here for day one.
Yeah, Anthony, it seems like you're very confident out there, especially for someone like you said who wasn't out there at OTAs. You're lining up against guys like Mike Thomas, all these the physicality that you're experiencing. How have you adjusted to that at the NFL level?
Just adjusting. I'm just very confident playing corner. You have to have that in the position, and just every time I get to line up against a guy like Michael Thomas, who's a very great receiver and has done so much. It's just a testament to the hard work that I put in. And to line up and match up against him. It's just a blessing, and I'm just trying to give him the best I can every time I go against him.
When it comes to Tyron, leaning on him with the injury part, but also I heard you mention all the different kind of things that you're focusing on. Is this somebody you lean on for the versatility aspect of the game too?
Yeah, because he plays multiple positions. I mean, he plays all over the field. So I just talk with him with the different positions that he has. The coaches haven't given me the job of playing those yet, but I'm just always ready just in case they just want to throw me in, that I know what I'm doing and I'm able to go out and perform at a high level.
Is there anything for you at your position that stands out, or rather, is there anything for you from your position, like your vantage point, about the defense that stands out to you as something that you really love about this team? Like, for instance, Colin Saunders talked about the attacking nature of the defense. Is there something that stands out to you?
Yeah, I just love how aggressive it is. We play a lot of press man, and I played a lot of that in college, so it just kind of meshed well over. It's a great transition to just be up in your face, be able to get hands on receivers, kind of control the route at the line of scrimmage. So I really love that part about the defense.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Trevor, what do you feel like you are now as close to this point from camp last year?
From camp last year, I definitely feel way better. I feel more comfortable. It almost feels like the game kind of slowed down a little bit. I mean, getting adapted kind of to NFL speed, so it's a lot better than last year, I feel like, so that's exciting.
It feels like this is the second practice session where I noticed you kind of did the one, stayed out there with the twos. Are they trying to catch you up on reps, or just make sure you get every rep you can? Or
Yeah, I don't really know. I just kind of do what they tell me to do. So, there's probably it's a little bit of a ramp-up period. The first couple of days, they want to ease me back in because I didn't have OTAs. So, they're going to take it easy, make sure it's all going good, and then kind of just ramp up my reps from there. So it's doing good, though.
That's got to be a good sign, though,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, for sure.
That they feel you're able to take on that workload.
Yeah. It's. They're kind of playing it safe. Kind of hearing it from they're just listening to me and kind of how it feels, and it's been feeling great so far. So they kind of just ramp it up a little.
What did you need? Coming out on the first practice, was there any I hope this feels normal, or you knew it was going to feel normal, and how has it felt through 8 practices?
Yeah, probably the first couple practices I was always like, shoot, I hope this is going to feel good. I've heard with my injury a lot of soreness comes with it usually, but I haven't really noticed any of that, and it's pretty much normal. There's nothing really. It doesn't bother me really at all, so that's a really good sign. And yeah, but going into whatever practices like practice 8, it's been feeling really good, and it's great to be back out there.
Obviously, from afar, we feel like that's daunting to have 2 different foot injuries in the same year. But I'm sure you've talked to doctors, trainers. Is there anything that gives you confidence that was more of a fluke than something you're going to have to battle?
Yeah, it's definitely it's a lot of luck into that. It's not the greatest luck ever, and there's also technique stuff that I can fix so it doesn't happen again. And just changing up how I play a little bit, how I plant on my feet a little bit. Having different orthotics in my feet or my shoes, so I have the right weight on the right bones and not putting too much pressure on one side of the foot or anything like that. So training staff's doing a great job, helping me stay out there on the field. So they've done a tremendous job.
Was there any similarity between the two injuries? Like, did they happen in a similar way, even though they were different?
I'm not really sure. I'm not even sure on the second one. I mean, the film, you can't really see it because it was like after the play, and I don't really know how it happened. So, but the first one, it was definitely my toe got caught in the turf. So,
I mean, luck aside, do you think technique could have prevented either one of those? This is an interesting
I don't
thing
know.
to hear. I've never really thought about
Yeah,
that.
I don't really know. It's kind of just bad luck, I think. But I mean, I'm doing, trying to fix how I play a little bit, so it's, my chances of getting hurt aren't as high. So.
How long does it take you to get that out of your head, though? Like, okay, I need to change it to this, but then I need to not think about what I'm doing and how I'm planning my team.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really thinking of it when I'm playing, more just individual stuff. Like I'm trying to perfect my craft basically, and doing that, and yeah. So I don't really think about it when we're actually out there in team.
Hey, last year, you remember, I mean, you brought a certain intensity to training camp that I think people really liked for the most part, except Dennis had to stop practice one time. But are you still the same guy, or have you evolved in any way? I mean,
yeah, I'd say I'm kind of the same guy, but obviously got to, keep our teammates safe and, play smart. And, I'm still going to keep that aggressive side to me, and that's kind of my trademark of how I play, and that's how I've always played and how I envision how O-linemen should play. So
James Hurst talked about that the other day, the evolution of trying to walk that line of not being too aggressive maybe, in pass pro maybe, and oversetting or
yeah. Yeah, that's something I've, really tried to work on, especially in the pass game. I mean, you can't play super aggressive like that in the pass game. You got to kind of, play relaxed, let the guy come to you. I can't be throwing my hands out there too early and stuff like that. So you got to just kind of learn to kind of tone it back a little bit, but still play in a controlled aggressiveness.
And then how's that going?
Good. No, I've even from the first practice this year, I've definitely noticed there's probably a little bit of rust coming back. So, but kind of just trying to really use my technique to beat these guys. So it's been good.
And the running game, obviously, you want to be ferocious for as long as possible during the play, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, do you ever think about, well, what am I going to do if some guy just doesn't handle it well, and it's only practice,
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I just kind of, I just play my game, and if they don't like it, then so be it.
I was talking to Doug Marone. He said, he's seen before where people miss time, and then it kind of feels like, oh, now we got to go back to. But he said he was really pleasantly surprised that it didn't feel like that with you. Did you get the same sense that you were happy that the growth you showed by the end of last season?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I mean, I really just tried to, control what I can control. I tried to do the stuff, during the off season I normally do, without using my feet. So, I mean, you could still do a ton of stuff football-wise. I mean, you can still work your upper body, you can still hit the weight room, you can still work your punch and stuff like that. So, I just really control what I can control, and, it's been good. I mean, I definitely feel like I've taken a step from last year, so just want to keep continuing to climb and keep progressing.
When we very generically refer to players as like raw or developmental or anything like that, what in your specific case, what did you really need to hone or refine to be ready to be playing every down in the NFL?
Yeah, my pass protection, probably my hands and pass protection need to improve, and I think they have improved since even the first day this year. So just continuing to work at that and keep really perfecting my craft in pass pro and even run blocking. I think that's going to help a ton.
And you were able to, to stay in the exact kind of shape you wanted to stay in when you were off your feet too?
Yeah, so, I mean, it's hard. It's hard when you can't really do too much, running or anything like that, but, I mean, you gotta do what you can do. So, I mean, I was hitting those echo bikes over there a lot whenever I could. We're still working out a ton. I hired a private chef to help me with, my weight because I needed to lose a little weight. So I got a chef, nutritionist, did all that, and trying to get down to a good playing weight.
Trevor, have you been doing any work at all at right tackle?
No, just left.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
they ever talk to you about that at all?
No,
You
just
stay
left.
in one spot, get it down.
So, I mean, it's obviously a very compelling situation. People observing you because you missed a lot of your rookie year and you come in as the blindside protector of the #1 free agent acquisition for the team. I mean, how do you process all that? How much has Derek helped you with it, or all that stuff?
Yeah, I mean, Derek's been great. He's been great so far. He's a great leader. I mean, day one, him walking in, you could tell he's got that kind of leadership trait that you want in a quarterback. So he's been great, and yeah.
Hey, Trevor, before you got that opportunity to start at the end of last season, as you were coming back and kind of had you in that swing tackle role, how valuable were those opportunities for you in terms of getting back out of the field?
Yeah, it was good. It was good to kind of get some reps under my feet of an actual NFL game. Coming in as that extra blocker, it was good. It was good to get some reps at that, and then that last game of the season, I think that helped a ton. Just kind of what I need to. What I needed to work on in the off season. Obviously, I couldn't do as much as I wanted, but even the stuff I could do, I still, did.
Do you feel like, I know the injuries are part of the equation there in that last game, but how did you feel about the performance overall in that first real big opportunity?
Good for first start. I mean, I thought it went pretty well. There's definitely stuff you can learn from it, and there's some positives to it too. So. It was great to have that, kind of under my belt going into the off season and then into this year.
Is that kind of where the pass pro, talking about what you were just mentioning about wanting to improve in the pass pro, did you get a little bit of that, or a little bit more context to that?
Yeah. I think it kind of helped just kind of how NFL pass rushers are in an actual game versus like a practice. I mean, it's a little different when they don't know it's a pass every time. So. It was really good to kind of go out there and play an actual NFL game.
You seem like a guy who enjoys when the pads go on.
Oh yeah.
As opposed to not.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's real football. That's when when we first put pads on. That's kind of the first day of real football.
Is there a party who wants to mix it up? I mean, we're all waiting, in the media for you to.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see.
Just briefly getting back to my previous question about Derek, what would you say is the healthiest mental approach for you to being in that spotlight? You know what I mean? Having that storyline surround you as the left tackle for the new quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, that's obviously that'd be a goal of mine to do, and hopefully I can do that. But I kind of don't really worry about that. I kind of just come in every day and just kind of work as hard as I can and perfect my craft, and then let the coaches decide who's that role. So I'm just going to come in and do my job and do it the best I can.
Where do you feel you're coming in this year, maybe most ahead or most improved from where you were in your first year?
Probably that pass protection, playing with more technique versus college. It's a little bit different. The guys aren't nearly as good, so you got to play with technique and really just work on that. So.
When you say technique, is that like hand placement?
Yeah, a lot of hand stuff. Yeah, hands and kind of set your sets and how you push off your feet and all that stuff.
Does that change based upon? I think it probably does, but based upon the edge rusher type that you're going up against?
Yeah, for sure. It definitely changes. I mean, depending on kind of the guy's a power rusher, the guy's a speed rusher, and kind of just stuff like that. The guy how he uses his hands, how his get off is, all that different stuff. So you got to be able to switch up your sets and that's really gonna mess with the D linemen, kind of mess with their rush a little bit. So it'll mess with their rush pattern.
Would you say that your physique or anything interesting physically has changed? You know, just with maybe the different kind of a more advanced strength training and dietary stuff and whatever other training you get in the NFL?
I'd say maybe a little. My body definitely feels better than what it has in the past, I think. Coming from college, I think my body definitely feels better. They kind of, they know how to give your body a rest. They know when you need to, kind of chill out and, take some rest, take some time, let your muscles recover and all that. So, yeah, they do a great job in there.
But you haven't necessarily broken any personal records in bench press or whatever?
No.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Appreciate it. Had a UNI alum in the stands today.